Welcome to season
1, 2, 3, 4, 5
of Meet the Drapers, the world's largest international business plan competition.
We're going global.
We traveled the globe, scouring the US, India, Taiwan, Portugal, Canada, and Brazil for their best and brightest entrepreneurs.
This is amazing.
Every week, these entrepreneurs will compete against their countrymen for a chance to make it to our international semi-finals and then on to finals to compete for a $1 million investment from Tim Draper himself.
The crystal ball ultimately chooses.
But here's the twist. Your favorite business eliminated too early? Vote them back into the finale to get a second chance in front of judges Tim.
This could be quite a thing.
Holly.
It's kind of exciting to people.
And Bill Draper.
That's a real plus in this case.
As well as their VIP guest judges. Let the games begin.
We're funding heroes, future shapers. We're funding heroes, underneath the Drapers. We're funding heroes, moving and shaking. That's what we do. Underneath the
Hey, welcome everybody, and welcome back to Meet the Drapers. This is our season 5. As you know, we're going around the world to see all the entrepreneurs that we can find wherever they may be. To my right, Bill Draper. To my left, Polly Draper. Our guest judge here is Kai Huang. And Kai is the co-creator and inventor of Guitar Hero before he sold it to Activision. And now he works in the venture capital business. Kai, welcome to the show. Tell us a little bit about Taiwan.
Thanks for that question, Tim. The first economic miracle in Taiwan, a lot of tech companies grew up based around hardware and semiconductors. So companies like TSMC, Acer, HTC, these are all companies that you all probably recognize. Taiwan's now really trying to reestablish that entrepreneurial spirit, and a lot of that spirit is looking at ways where Taiwan has strengths, certainly hardware and robotics. There's biotech and a lot more consumer tech now in startups that we're starting to see. Historically, China has always claimed that Taiwan is part of China. And so that's kind of the cloud that hangs over. It's not an officially recognized country by the UN.
It's not officially recognized in the UN?
No, it's not.
Oh.
Taiwanese don't sort of let that cloud or that tension sort of affect what they're thinking about. And we're seeing a lot more entrepreneurial activity.
Let's bring a few of these Taiwanese entrepreneurs in. But before we see them, let's see what's going on behind the scenes.
Before starting this company, I was just a regular technical guy. My mom calls me from Taiwan and told me that my father got cancer. So that actually triggered me. I want to do something about it. The one thing that keeps us moving forward, waking up every day in the morning, is we know we are building something is very, very important.
Our first entrepreneur is Po Chen with CancerFree Biotech.
Hi, Drapers. My name is Paul, CEO of CancerFree Biotech. We are focusing on personalized precision medicine for cancer. Imagine that patients no longer need to use their own body to try different drugs. Instead, they can use their own cancer cell to find the best treatment options for themselves and themselves only. We cooperate with the Taipei Medical University Hospital to come up with this new approach. I can put this trial and error model from live cancer patient to the lab. The basic work like this. Inside every cancer patient's blood sample has a very rare cancer cell. We'll take them and put our specialized culturing system and grow a lot of cancer cells in the lab and create the organoid model. and directly put as many as 112 different drugs into it to see which drugs can kill the most cancer cells. Then we will base the result to create data model to help doctor and patient to make better choice. So please join me as a partner, as an investor. Together, we can make this world cancer-free. Thank you.
Terrific. Well, I sure hope you can. But some of those drugs, I get the idea, are not FDA approved. So this is more for the experimental, or is this going to go mainstream?
So it really depends on the stage where the company goes. But our vision, the end game, is for every cancer patient, before they're taking any treatment, they should do a testing to knowing whether the treatment can help them or not. Today in our platform, we can test up to 112 drugs. Most of them are approved by FDA. Now, if we go to this model to the United States, certainly we require to become a CLIA certified lab, and now we can provide a service to an end consumer. Until then, we are going to focus on the B2B model, basically helping the pharma company on the drug research. And that will be our primary market in the US first.
The business model of your end goal, will that be to charge the patient directly, or charge the hospital, or charge the drug company?
We would like to charge the pharma company and insurance. We don't want the patient pay out of pocket.
What's the business model for these drug companies? Is there some kind of subscription for the data that you're providing them, or is it sort of on a per project, per drug basis?
Right now, basically, we are over two kind of charging model. The first one is per project basis. They can pay the one-time fee, depends on how many cancer organ model they want to test. But we can give them a subsequent a huge discount if they allow us to share their successful royalty fee in the going forward.
Is anybody else in this area?
Yes, they are. This area is very innovative area. There are a lot of companies start focus on this. In the past, traditional precision medicine usually focus on DNA, but now we feel that DNA is good, as we get here so far. But I think we need a better tool. There are companies that are focused on in US, focused on create organ model. The difference between us and them is they are focusing on getting the tumor sample through the biopsy or surgery.
Who is on your team besides yourself?
I have 3 PhD in my team, and most of my team members come from a medical and biology background.
So Po Chen, thank you so much for being on Meet the Drapers. It's great to have you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
So, what did you think of CancerFree Biotech? If you have any thoughts, you can poke me at Tim Draper on Twitter. Kai, what did you think of CancerFree Biotech?
Obviously, it's a great concept, and we all want something like this to work. It'll be interesting to see which way they go on their business model, whether they're going to go what he talked about as B2C to the consumer side, or whether they're going to work more on the B2B model and sell the data to the drug companies.
Yeah, I felt the same way, that maybe he hadn't explored. He's a PhD, I think. I don't know whether he had explored all the business models he could be operating with. He seems to be attracted to the idea of drug companies and insurance companies, probably because they have all the money. But there may be an interesting consumer opportunity here, or maybe working with the doctors and the hospitals. Dad, what did you think?
I think anyone who is working in this area and makes some progress is worth backing.
Yeah.
I mean, and whether this one is the one, or I really would like to solve that problem.
Terrific. So there we go. There's your first entrepreneur from Taiwan. Let's hear from our next entrepreneur from Taiwan. But before we do, let's see what's going on behind the scenes.
I'm a foodie, and then I usually work very late, so it's really hard to find a restaurant or any food solution. So that's why I'm thinking to make an autonomous restaurant. I want to have everybody to enjoy the food without any boundary limitation or time limitation. I think this is so exciting chance that for me and Yokai to join the show, because we're gonna demo our product and we're gonna show people this kind of a future restaurant solution actually exists.
So as a part of making Meet the Drapers even more fun than it is, we have instituted a new game. It's called Draper X, and you can download it on the iPhone or on Google Play. you can participate. And so while you watch Meet the Drapers and you see these great entrepreneurs present, you can invest your funny money into those companies. And if your company goes and becomes a semi-finalist, you get 5x on your money. If in the semifinals, your company moves up to the finale, you get another 5x on your money. Your company ends up winning, you get another 10x on your money. So we're gonna have a leaderboard, and the winners are gonna get big prizes from Meet the Drapers. I hope you'll download the game. It's called Draper X, and you'll play it with us and be a part of Meet the Drapers.
We will be right back after a quick break. Welcome back to Meet the Drapers.
Now let's listen to our next entrepreneur from Taiwan, Yokai Express.
Hello, Drapers. Hello, judges. Hello, everyone. This is Andy, founder and CEO from Yokai Express. Today, I'm going to introduce you to the future restaurant. Hunger is a problem for you, for me, for everyone. It made me feel upset when I feel hungry and then cannot find anything to eat. This is $1 trillion problem that we cannot find a good solution for decades. Think about when you work late, study hard, and then you miss the dining hours. Where are you going to find the food in the afternoon hour? Don't worry now, we got you covered. But before I told you what's our solution, I want to quickly share with you what we have achieved in the past. We expand our business in the US nationwide from the West Coast to East Coast. We generate almost $1 million revenue in last year. We are launching our system in Japan, and we are ready to launch in Korea and Europe next month. Now, let me introduce you Yokai Express, the future autonomous restaurant platform. You can imagine it's a restaurant in a box, smart vending system, just a little bit 25 square footprint. The cooking time from 45 seconds to 90 seconds. The best thing is everything cooked on site, no food waste. You don't need to prepare extra food, so we can save more money, save resource, and have a better planet. I know right now you should have a million questions, so bring it on.
What I'm looking at is a little kiosk. Is the idea that this is a kiosk like an automat used to be?
Yes.
What makes it different from any other food kiosk?
You asked a very good question. So in a traditional vending machine, it can only serve refrigerated food, or even it's a dehydrated or it's non-fresh made. We use the step cooking technology. So we actually make a fresh noodle from the scratch and then cook in our central kitchen. And then we do the step cooking, freezing, and then deliver to the machine. When customer like you press the order, we finish the last mile cooking inside the machine. So when you got a bowl, you will feel amazed. It's just like a restaurant quality, just like there's a chef hiding inside the machine, cook for you, and then provide to you in a minute.
I don't understand why you reduce food waste. You got a lot of food, people want something made to order, they order it. I would think you'd have a lot of food waste.
That's a really good question. Everything is individual. We do the frozen technology and serve into the machine. We have a freezer inside the machine. So it's not like a traditional room temperature vending machine or like a salad refrigerator vending machine. It will become perishable. Ours is totally frozen. So the shelf life can be up to 6 to 12 months. So that's why we can control the food quality, will not sacrifice the overall flavors.
What are some of the problems you've run into? Have you had like power outages or delivery shortages or problems with central restaurants?
So right now, in the past 2 years, pandemics give us a little bit headache, but I think that's good and bad. So for the bad thing is because the logistic constraint, so we need to prepare more time. Usually we give the forecast for 1 month, but in the past 2 years, we need to prepare maybe 2+1 in order to make the food inventory sufficient and then also meet the delivery partner's schedule. I think down the road, when the pandemic passed, everything back to the normal. So by working with our existing customer and then our partner, everything will run smoothly based on the demand and the forecast.
Kai, do you have any questions?
Yeah, you mentioned that you're already installed in a lot of locations. Where specifically are you installed? What are you guys selling now? You know, what are some of the best sellers?
We start from the San Francisco Bay Area. So we are in a large movie streaming company. We are in a large EV manufacturer. And we are in the Olympic ski resort. We are in largest hotel chain. So we are everywhere. The sales record is really good. For example, like in ski resort, we can easily sell like 150 bowl, 200 bowl without anybody's attend to serve the customer. So I think this is a good business model, and then the way it can duplicate quickly because the machine is plug and play. Once we have a local food infrastructure and logistics setup, we just ship the machine, plug in the power, restock the product into the machine, and then you can start your own restaurant in a day.
You say this is patented. Aren't there a lot of these in Japan?
You asked a good question. A lot of people think this is a lot of vending machine in Japan. Yes, they are the kingdom of the vending machine, but they don't have such a high quality, ready to eat hot food vending machine. And then that's why we select Japan as our first foreign country to expand our business.
And how are you going to get this funded? Are you going to sell franchises? Are you going to just have them all company owned?
Yeah, right now all the machine was manufactured and owned by our company, Yokai Express. And we are working with a lot of banks right now. We are going to do the equipment loans because we don't want to spend a lot of venture capital money on the machine manufacturing. We want to put the money into the global expansion.
How much venture capital have you raised?
We have raised almost 9 million in the past.
So you guys are blowing through a lot of money every month.
At the very beginning, yes, because the machine development, software development, and then even the recipe development, and then the setup for the infrastructure with each partner, it did take a lot of time and money. But the good thing is during the past 2 years, pandemics, everything lined up.
When do you see yourself breaking even?
This year.
Terrific. Well, thank you so much, Andy, for being on Meet the Drapers. It was fun to hear Yokai.
Thank you very much. See you later.
So what did all of you think of Yokai Express? Have any of you tried this stuff? Apparently you have. Tell us about it.
It was very tasty. It was enjoyable. I only looked at it from the outside. They have a technology that heats up the food really quick. The bowl of noodles, the ramen came out in just a couple of minutes. It was piping hot and the food quality was actually quite good. So I had a good experience with it.
What do you think of it as an investment opportunity?
I think there's definitely a lot of places that could use something like this. He mentioned airports would be, a very high traffic location. Companies, co-working spaces, I think another sort of ideal place. So I think there's a lot of room and opportunity. The big question will be how they can scale this business if they have to pay a lot of money to manufacture each of these machines. But I do believe that there's consumer demand for this.
What is the technology that makes it different from a microwave or?
I had asked the question before and it's part of their secret sauce. And so I don't know the answer, but it's not just microwave technology. They're doing something else there, maybe in conjunction with microwave or something that's totally separate.
Dad, what did you think of this?
You'd have to taste the food. You'd have to be sure that it's a terribly competitive area. There was something that made me feel good about him. I think a thumbs up until I know more.
Polly, what did you think?
I think I'm depending heavily on Kai because he's tried the food. He's the one who mentioned that it's a special technology that makes the stuff better.
The two things I would check are, is the food that much better than the styrofoam cup and the water? And does their model really work? In some places, you're gonna see a lot of traffic, and then there'll be some places where it's not working at all. So, let's bring on the next entrepreneur. But before we do, let's see what's going on behind the scenes.
We are really excited to meet the Drapers, and a lot of entrepreneurs actually is born from this venture capital. He could help us out to expand the business, also to collect more giant company customers in US or in Europe.
So our next entrepreneur from Taiwan is ioNetworks. Erics and Chris, please give us your pitch.
Hi, my name is Erics, and this is Chris. We are the founders of the ioNetworks. A few years ago, I was worried about my grandma living alone. She wants to be self-sufficient, but it's quite dangerous for her. I wanted to create a way for her to have support while not taking away from her privacy. After brainstorming, We figured out that we could create AI-enabled devices that can aid my grandma and also over 700 million elders in the world. For example, 3D facial recognition devices, that means she won't get locked out of her house if she forgets the key, or for detection device to watch her all the time. So this is how our journey have started and expand to many applications in the following years.
So ioNetworks provides
Sorry, with your grandma, it was the idea that your camera would watch her wherever she goes, and if she's locked out of the house, you can tell her to go find the key, or the door just opens automatically.
Yeah, so the image from the 3D camera is the identification image. So privacy is not a concern.
Then the device itself is a smart device to identify her automatically and direct her to get in the house.
So she forgets her key, and
Right.
facial recognition opens the door for her.
So it opens the door.
Yeah.
It's an automatic door. This is not a door with a key. Okay, so where are you taking the business?
For this kind of business, we are working with 4 major chip makers. We embedded our algorithm inside their chipset. It's a little bit like licensed IP business with them.
How do you divide up your responsibilities, and who else is on your team?
Yeah, Iris is in charge of the operation. I'm the business development and key account management person. And we have about 30 members in the team.
Now you have 30 members of the team, but nobody's a CEO. What are you doing there? Is somebody going to pick up and lead, or do you have to go hire someone?
So far, I'm the president of this company. So we might hire someone to be our CEO in the future.
Position of a CEO is vacant. We got a chance to get that position. We have to try hard. If anyone can lead this company, then that position is ready. So this is very interesting point.
Where do you see the company going in the future in terms of product direction and product roadmap?
This year is very important for us because right now we are kind of like exclusive partner with Umbrella, MTK, and Novatech in APAC. So for example, right now, those chip makers keep introducing customers to us, including the very big ones like Ubiquiti, Comcast, or Amazon. We will help them to make AI device within 3 years. So this is how our strategy from this year and maybe to the following 2 years.
You've taken a startup with no money and gotten to 5 million in revenue profitably without taking any money. Why take money now?
We need to hire more and more AI engineers. That's why we are doing our first round this year.
Terrific. Well, thank you, Eric and Chris. Thank you so much for being on Meet the Drapers. Very nice meeting you, and thank you for showing us ioNetworks. So, what did you think? Maybe your grandmother could benefit from this new technology? Pretty impressive that they've gotten to $5 million with no outside venture capital money. Kai, what did you think of this business?
There's one area that I would probe a little bit more into that I thought was quite unusual was the question around the CEO. I don't know that I've met any startup in that position where there's no CEO and they're not actively looking for one.
And they're competing for the position. That was amazing.
It's a little bit more than the flies, you know?
I thought that was wild, but I think what happened was there's one very young guy, and they're saying, well, I think I should be the guy who tells you what to do because that's what I did at my old company. But the young guy's the guy who came up with the idea, has started the business, and didn't have enough confidence in himself to just say, hey, forget it, I'm CEO, that's the way it goes. So we've heard from 3 of the 4 Taiwanese companies, and we got one more. And let's bring that entrepreneur on. But before we do, you know what we're gonna do. We're gonna look behind the scenes.
As we know, a lot of mental and neurological conditions are currently without a very effective drug or treatment methods. So we're trying to provide another solution.
PS128 is our patented probiotic strain to be able to help other people while building a business. I mean, that reward is enormous.
We do see a lot of cases benefiting from our products, so it's really a no-brainer to join this business.
Follow me on Twitter. I'm at Tim Draper. If you got a great idea, go ahead and send it to me. And who knows, you might be the next big contestant. We'll be right back after this.
Welcome back to Meet the Drapers.
Frankie and Enchia, please give us your pitch.
We are Bened Biomedical, the world's leading psychobiotic research center. I'm Enjia, co-founder and marketing director of the company. Together with me here is Frankie, co-founder and CEO. Today, more than 300 million people suffer depression. In the United States, 1 in every 44 kids has autism. And there's a huge growing number of people develop Parkinson's each year. Mental and neurological disorders could affect every one of us. At Bened Biomedical, we fight to fulfill the unmet medical needs with our novel probiotic, a psychobiotic strain. Yes, your gut is connected to the brain, in case you're wondering. Our unique psychobiotic PS128 was commercialized in 2015 as a probiotic supplement in both capsule and sachet forms, and has helped more than 1 million customers across 40 countries. We've found PS128 can protect brain cells that make dopamine, the cells that die off in Parkinson's disease. Last year, we published the very first clinical study on a single-strain probiotic for Parkinson's. Patients found taking PS128 improved their motor function and overall life quality. It's exciting, isn't it? Moreover, our study also showed that PS128 reduces our stress and anxiety and improves sleep quality. Our revenue last year was $7 million, and we're targeting 12 million this year. With all the clinical results, our near future plan is to develop it into an FDA-approved microbiome drug. Aside from PS128, we also research and produce other psychobiotic strains. These can go into functional foods and drinks and not only help humans, but also all stressed out cats and dogs. Together with PS128 and our psychobiotic, we can make the world a happier one. Thank you.
Terrific. Well, this is very sensitive for all of us. My mother died of Parkinson's, and so if she had had PS128, maybe she would have lived a little longer. These are not FDA drugs. These are over-the-counter probiotics, correct?
Currently, yes, it's still a supplement.
And you've sold $7 million worth. What is your channel? Are they through pharmacies or through grocery stores or what?
In Taiwan, we have a D2C direct-to-consumer business, and that we sell directly to consumer as through 1,500 pharmacies. Overseas, we're working with pharmaceutical companies to work through doctors and recommend the product to their patients.
What are you doing that's special, that's different from all the other probiotic companies out there?
I would say a lot of these supplement companies, they tend to focus on marketing only and kind of ignore the scientific research part. We are very different. For instance, probiotic is everything that we do. However, we already own 33 global patents, including in the States, EU, Japan, etc. And we also have completed 12 different clinical studies across the world, including Massachusetts General Hospital with the Harvard Medical School.
And that's what makes you unique, because the others just basically throw some yogurt in a capsule and say that's a probiotic. Is that what you're saying?
Kind of. Also, we hold the secret recipe to screen out specific functions of probiotics. For example, we want the immune system, we want it to have anti-aging functions, then we do know how to do that. Not many labs in the world has it.
Everybody else is spending their money on marketing. How are you getting your product marketed?
Instead of touting how great a product is or through people to people, what we do is we publish the scientific papers and we issue press releases. We focus on scientific research and findings to let people read these articles.
What is your sales volume today?
7 million for 2021.
Currently per month, you're looking at roughly 100 USD.
How much does each box of this cost, of each different one?
about 100 US dollars, and it's good for 1 month of use.
In the future, are you looking to go down the direct-to-consumer model, or are you looking licensing model?
Thanks for hitting the jackpot question. We have a very successful direct-to-consumer model in Taiwan, and we're going to replicate that to many countries, including the States. Indeed, 4 months ago, we just acquired a local D2C company, direct-to-consumer company in the States. And we transfer all our customer database, our CRM system, to the local team to enable them to quickly launch the product to the market. Honestly, that is going to fuel our next phase of growth. So instead of doing B2B in every country through the distributors, we are moving up the value chain by going direct.
Thank you so much for being on Meet the Drapers.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for having us.
So what did all of you think of Bened Biomedical? Very interesting that your gut is connected to your brain and that probiotics can actually be psychobiotics. What do you think, Kai?
It's really interesting what they're working on. They talked about these probiotics that they've created being able to treat autism, or at least help improve autism and Parkinson's. I mean, those are, very big issues. If they can do that and get FDA approved, which is expensive, but if they can do that, it seems like there's a very big opportunity. And they said they've grown to maybe 12 million in revenue this year. So again, some really good progress so far.
I'm like the patient zero for all of this probiotic stuff. I've just read about so many different kinds and have tried so many different kinds. And I honestly know that I would try this because this is the first time I've heard that they did actual studies and real doctors and
the rest of it's just yogurt.
Everybody else is, and there's one doctor that says, studied by doctor said this and
it was yogurt.
Yeah, it was yogurt.
Dad, what do you think? What do you think of these?
I'd change the name because it's a little awkward to say, but I like it very much. Maybe it's the connection to Parkinson's that we all have that makes me want this to succeed big time.
Okay, so what did you all think? What do you think was the best entrepreneur out there? Who should go on to our semifinals? Keep that in mind because you can vote for any of these going into the finale. And now I'm going to ask you, which was your favorite of these 4 entrepreneurs? Was it CancerFree Biotech? Was it Yokai Express? Was it ioNetworks? Or was it Bened Biomedical? Why don't we bring on the entrepreneurs? We'll go to the crystal ball because the crystal ball sees and hears everything. So as a part of making Meet the Drapers even more fun than it is, we have instituted a new game. It's called Draper X, and you can download it on the iPhone or on Google Play. You can participate. And so while you watch Meet the Drapers and you see these great entrepreneurs present, you can invest your funny money into those companies. And if your company goes and becomes a semifinalist, you get 5x on your money. If in the semifinals, your company moves up to the finale, you get another 5x on your money. Your company ends up winning, you get another 10x on your money. So we're gonna have a leaderboard, and the winners are going to get big prizes from Meet the Drapers. I hope you'll download the game. It's called Draper X, and you'll play it with us and be a part of Meet the Drapers.
We will be right back after a quick break. Welcome back to Meet the Drapers.
This was a really difficult choice. We are really impressed with Taiwan. CancerFree Biotech. This was really very interesting. I've seen quite a few that are like it, that are trying to do different things by putting a panel and running blood against it and seeing what happens. But we think that eventually you'll get to the data that really matters, and eventually this may be the way people are treated. Yokai Express, this is great fun, and you do have some unique technology in doing the freezing and then the steaming. A lot of concerns about what the unit economics are and what they end up being. ioNetworks, this was one we had the most trouble struggling with as to, is it just the application of the grandmother, or are there going to be multiple applications that you guys haven't really considered yet? But on the other hand, you've gone from 0 to $5 million in revenue in a very short time with no capital invested. That was really impressive to us. Kind of wish we had more time with ioNetworks. And Bened Biomedical, we think that you two really did a nice job of explaining how this is going to work and how you're saying that there are different strands that can do different things for different people. We're a little concerned about the business model. I mean, when you've already got a great direct-to-consumer business, going through the FDA seems like self-flogging. It's like, hit me again, because the FDA is not easy, but if you get out the other end, it's possible you'll have some barrier to entry. Maybe that brings your brand to fruition. Clearly, I have no idea which of you is going to get to the next level. So what are we going to do? We're going to go to the crystal ball. See all, be all. Oh my gosh, it's totally conflicted. It is totally conflicted. It is torn. It doesn't know where to go. Okay, 2 people are moving on. 2 groups are moving on. Bened Biomedical is moving on, and ioNetworks is moving on. So very exciting, and we'll be investing at least $50,000 into each of your companies. The other 2, I hope that you will connect with us, because I am very interested in potentially investing in those 2 also. This has been a very high quality group coming from Taiwan. So all of you, I hope we're in contact going forward. So this is really exciting. All 4 of you have just been invited to pitch Draper Associates, so congratulations. So that's it, and I want to thank Kai Huang, who is really an amazing honorary Draper, and you have been an extraordinary judge. Thank you, Kai, for being a part of this show. With that, we say, thanks so much for watching Meet the Drapers!
We come from different places, different lives. We all run different races, different minds, yeah. We keep promoting freedom through every twist and turn. We'll start a revolution and watch the old ways burn. The future with our tech, AI, VR, Bitcoin is the best. We'll build and work and grow with you, having fun along the way. We'll change the world for better.